Good morning, girls. Today we are going to do grammar. We have lesson 21, the verbs be and have. Today we are going to do pages 307, 308, and 309. So let's get started. Main verbs, they show action. I hope you remember we did this last term. Main verbs, linking verbs, and helping verbs. So the main verbs, they always show us the action. They tell us what the subject is doing in a sentence. But helping verbs, they do not show any action. They just help the main verb to do its job. For example, if we have a sentence like I have written a letter. Have written, both of these are verbs, but have is the helping verb and written is the main verb that shows what the subject did. Similarly, we have another set of verbs that do not show action. Those are linking verbs. They just link the subject with some information about it, like she was sad. So she is the subject, was is the linking verb that connects the subject with some description about it, which is sad. She felt sad. Now, we are going to look at some examples from this lesson for be and have. So, when we talk about be verbs include am, was, are, were, is, and so on. If you look at this table, you are going to see that the first column gives you pronouns. The second one and the third one, they show you the forms of be verbs that we can use with each pronoun. And then the last two columns, they show you the forms of have that we can use. So have is just going to be have, has, or had. These are the three forms of have verbs. And the forms of be verbs are am, was, were, is. And depending on the pronoun, we have to change the one we are using. If I'm talking about with I can say I am, like I am excited. I was excited if I'm talking about the past. And if I want to put have in a sentence with I can say I have written a letter, like I gave you the example earlier, or I had written a letter. So this table shows you what are the forms of be and have that you can use with different pronouns. Now, like always, it is very important to have subject-verb agreement in your sentence, which means that the subject and verb in a sentence must agree in number and tense, right? If your subject is singular, the verb should also be singular, and if the subject is plural, the verb should also be plural, and they should be talking about the same tense, right? So let's look at some examples here. We have or has an exam today. Now, we is the plural subject, so I cannot put has with it. I can only put have. We have an exam today. What is are you doing? With you, I must always use are. They were very noisy in class. With they, which is a plural subject, I have to use were. The girl have a pet cat. A singular subject like girl must have a singular verb like has. It is are raining heavily. So it is singular, so I have to use is. Everyone have to participate. Now recall the previous lesson we did about indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns like everyone, everybody, these are treated as singular. So we are going to use a singular verb, which is has. Now let's take a look at verb phrases. What is a verb phrase? When we have two or more verbs together in a sentence, we get a verb phrase, such as has written, have studied, are playing, was coming, or even more than two. If I say the room has been prepared, the whole thing is going to be my verb phrase. Now, in this particular lesson, the verb phrases that we have are made up of a modal verb plus be and have. What are modal verbs? Verbs like could, should, would, and must. Take a look at this table here. The verb could, it can be used to show some possibility, like it could rain today, or it can be used to show permission. You could take a break, or could I go to the bathroom? This means it's being used for permission, to ask for permission or sometimes to give permission. Now, should, this can be used for advice. You should stay home, or it can be used to predict. She should be here by now. Would, once again, will show you possibility. It would be nice to go there, or it would be a good idea to do this. Must shows you something that's necessary, like you must put on your seatbelt, or when you are sure about something, you must be tired after the long trip. So these are the different uses of these modal verbs. Let's look at the examples given here. You must be excited about the trip. So you have must plus be here. Then it could be dangerous. So could plus be. So the first sentence, you must be excited about the trip, it shows a situation where you are sure about something. You know that the girls will obviously be excited. In number two, it could be dangerous. So this is a possibility. It would be nice to see her again. Once again, this is a possibility. So if you see her again, if you have the chance to see her again, it would be nice. It would be a pleasant experience. We could have won the match. Here also it shows you a possibility.